This is that awkward lull time when it's like, okay, what's going to happen? What's this about? On the first day of school, I never go on class on time. Like, I'm never in there when they are there, because then they just watch you. They don't talk to each other. They're just looking at you, wondering what you're going to say. But,
It's like, can I add?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, wait, we didn't start yet. So. The sign-in sheet, okay, it's coming. It'll end up on your side though, so that's good. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Happy afternoon, everybody. Happy Flex Day to all of you. Yay, Flex Day. Yay. My name is Amber Wright, and I'm an adjunct faculty member in the Department of Communication Studies and Sign Language. And I consider myself very fortunate and privileged to be able to teach here at Long Beach City College. I enjoy my time here, and so I'm excited to be among all of you today. When you're an adjunctor and you teach at night, you know, you're like the Lone Ranger. There's no one around to talk to. So I'm happy to be a part of Flex Day today and to be with you all as we talk about how to increase student engagement in the classroom. And I would like to start by saying I love to hear myself talk. I love to talk about myself. That's why I teach communications classes. But I also like to hear from all of you as well. So feel free if you have questions or if you want to make a comment, something resonates with you, definitely just jump in, chime in, and we'll make this more of a dialogue and a conversation. I have budgeted time at the end for us to be able to have an actual conversation, a Q&A, and just we talk and chat at the end. You know how that goes. But definitely throughout, do not feel like you cannot interject or share and contribute to the discussion, okay? Where I want to start is by asking you all, what drew you here to this presentation today out of the ones that were listed?
It's most practical.
It's the most practical.
In terms of your student evaluations, your overall success, and
Okay.
just a good environment. You want your students to be engaged. You don't want to be bored.
Okay.
Bored, etc.
Sure, you don't want to be bored. I love that. Anybody else?
See how other teachers are approaching the same types of issues that we're all facing.
Okay.
Different
Just
disciplines, you know.
see what everyone else has going on. Yeah? Okay, I would have done that. That's fair. That's fair. What kind of challenges are you experiencing when it comes to engagement? What challenges are you experiencing when it comes to engagement? Chef?
Well, as I was in my teenage or 20s,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very boomer, so I have something in mind.
Okay.
And if I have younger students,
Mm-hmm.
like, how do you call them now, millennials?
Millennials, yes,
Millennials.
yes.
So now technology, they use technology for
For
almost anything.
Yeah.
And we're coming from the other side a little bit, you know?
Okay.
So we need to get engaged and understand the new generations.
Okay, okay.
That's how it is.
Does everyone hear what he's saying? He's saying that there's, you know, he's got millennial students and they use technology for everything. So he finds that as a hurdle to kind of get them off their phones maybe and figure out how, I'm in the middle, I'm in the gap. I used the phone book before, but I love Google, right? Yes.
To add to that, I think it would be interesting to hear how maybe technology with all the changes that are occurring, not using, that are incorporated into the classes to make it more
Okay.
interesting and to have students engage, you know, with the technology being
Sure.
incorporated into the classroom.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit about that because I know technology is an interesting piece. It's like how do you use this? How do you integrate it into your classes if you do at all? I'll talk about it more later, but I don't allow cell phones in my class. I tell them I'm desperate for their attention. If you're staring at your crotch the whole time, I'm going to think something's wrong with you. So put your phone away and let's sit down and let's talk and let's engage. But that's me, and that's because of the nature of what I teach. What disciplines do we have represented here if you want to just shout some of them out? What do you teach? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Technology, I heard? Or maybe I didn't?
I'm sorry.
Criminal justice. Nutrition. Human services, reading, did I hear? Okay. Chemistry, okay. Accounting, culinary arts. Yeah, hello, chef. Yes? Kinesiology. Okay. Cake decorating. I need to meet you. You need to show me how to decorate a cake, because I think I will, because I love to eat cake. So let me figure out how to decorate it. Well, good. There's a variety of disciplines represented here. And so I want to kind of disclaim my presentation and say these are the things that work for me. I am not an expert on student engagement, but I'm good enough to be here to talk about it today. So I'm just going to share about the things that are working for me, Amber, as a communication studies instructor. Hopefully, some of these things will work for you as well. Most of them you may already be doing. Hopefully, you're already doing them. If not, then maybe you'll be able to walk away with something that can stick with you and say, oh, I like that. Let me try that. Okay? So we do have this question of these young people, of the millennials. The widest age range of students that attend this college are in the age bracket of 20 to 24. They make up 36%, which is the largest group of students here at Long Beach City. So these are whom we are talking about and who we're thinking about. How do we reach, is it okay, can we call them young people in here? I call them kids to everybody else, not to them, but I call them my kids. So how do we reach our students and get them off of their phones, off of their tablets, off of their whatevers, Android, no discrimination, iPhone, any iPhone users? Yeah? No? Okay, that's right. How do we get them off their phones and engaged in class? So there are 6 things that I'm going to share with all of you today that I do that try to help me pull them in and get them engaged and create an interactive classroom experience for everyone, okay? So the first one is this. It's to do it with passion or not at all. We all signed up to do this. We all have advanced degrees to become instructors. You have to have an advanced degree to teach these classes. So this is something that I think is really important. Most times when it comes down to engagement, it has so much less to do with the students than it does with us, because you have to know that life is so short. So this is my PSA, right? This is like life coaching stuff integrated into teaching. Life is too short to not do what you love to do. And if you don't love it, it's going to show when you stand up here in front of your students in class. They may not care much about chemistry or kinesiology or whatever, but if you love it, they will feed off of your energy. Have you ever had bad service before? You go to a restaurant and the person is just like, I hate my life. And so because they hate their life, then they make your dining experience an unpleasant one. I don't like it when I don't know your name. It's like, because I don't want to say, hey, you, come here. I like to engage with you. I want to talk to you. I want to know what your name is so that way I can treat you kind of like a person, because you're about to deliver me my food. I need my food. I want it to be nice. I want it the way it said it's going to be on the menu. But if you don't love your job, or if you go somewhere, some kind of agency, perhaps, I mean, this is no shade to the people at the DMV, but you go to a place where like nobody wants to be at the DMV, nobody behind the counter wants to be there, no one in line wants to be there. That's difficult, right? So when you think about standing up in front of your students, you've got to do it with passion, and you've got to do it with passion every single time, because passion is contagious. Who's this guy? Tom Cruise, right? This man has had a stellar career, from Mission Impossible to I can only name the movies that are in my age class, right? He's been on numerous films, but it all comes down to this moment in 2005 when he's on Oprah's couch and talking about his then girlfriend in better times, because we know they're not together anymore. But in better times, he's jumping on this couch, yelling and screaming about how much he loves Katie Holmes. And we still talk about it to this day. Or if I'm having a Tom Cruise moment, I'm jumping on the couch and I'm ecstatic and I just can't control myself because of the sheer excitement of the love that they share that has now dissipated. That is what passion looks like. He's passionate about that. And so I don't want you to come in here and jump on your tables when you come to class, but I do want you to feel that way about your topic. Because like I said, they may not fall in love with what you're teaching, but they will at least walk away when they get on their laptops and they go to ratemyprofessor.com. They're like, I hate this class, but gosh, that Amber, she sure loved communication studies. I think I've done my job. And believe me, they are talking about you. Do you read those reviews on ratemyprofessor.com? It's okay. Share. It's okay. We're safe. No, you don't? Well, I do. I'm not afraid to admit it. I have. And we live in a culture where opinions matter. Okay? That's why we have restaurant review sites like Yelp.com, TripAdvisor.com. I don't stay anywhere without going on TripAdvisor.com first, because I want to know, is there construction going on at the hotel? Are there mice? Like, what's happening here? And so we live in this era where we want to know what to expect, and everyone can just post very quickly from their phones about their experience. So the point that I'm making here is not to teach just to get positive reviews on RateMyProfessor.com, because there's only two types of students that post on that website. Either they loved your class or they hated it. They got an A or an F. That's just how it goes. So that's not the goal, but the goal is to be cognizant of the fact that they do have commentary about you. And most times if you ask them, how many of you actually read my reviews before you took this class, count the number and be surprised of how many students actually do use that website. So you definitely want to be, how this relates back to engagement is, you just have to love what you do. So I'm kind of driving this point home because I think it's the most paramount, because we've got to love it. Because if we're not interested in it, then they're not interested in it. And if we don't show that interest, they're not going to show that interest. I teach public speaking, and this is public speaking one-on-one. Pick a topic that you want to talk about. Because if I tell them, I don't want to listen to 30 boring speeches every week. I really don't. I do not at all, no. So pick something that is interesting to you. You like to recycle? Great. Teach me something about recycling that I didn't already know. Or act like you just live and breathe recycling to such a way that I want to walk out here and recycle all of, well, I already do recycle, but take it to a whole nother level when it comes to recycling. Maybe I'll volunteer at a recycling center or something. So does all that make sense though, as far as kind of like you got to get up here and be passionate about it? Do you love your job? Do you love what you do? Because if you don't, like I said, they will pick up on that. How we approach our work affects how they respond to it. So what I tend to do on the first day of school is I talk to them about the fact that I have like 8 other jobs, because there's this idea among students that they think we feel our class is the only class they have. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, we have to read 5 chapters. Oh my God, I have 4 in the classes. So I come and stand before them and say, look, I have a full-time job, a part-time job. I'm a blogger and a freelance writer. I got a husband and a kid. I got responsibilities too. I have a lot of things that I need to do too. But once we are able to come here together and cross the threshold of this class, we're all going to work together. And by starting at that point and sharing with them that I love this, and I hope that you love it too, they tend to respond to that. They appreciate my zest and my love for communication studies, and that's what they respond to. I have a difficult challenge when I teach public speaking, because who in here loves public speaking? Most of you are, because you're teachers, but some of us don't, right? But some don't. Some don't. So either they love the class or they hate it. So I have to kind of find that middle space to get them involved and to kind of reel them in and say it's not as dreadful as you think it is, or as you think that, or we've heard that it is. It can actually be really fun. So the last point that I want to make about this and about loving what you do and being passionate about your work is there was a study that was published in the Journal of Personality, Journal of Research and Personality. And they found that most of us approach work we fall into these 3 categories. Either we consider what we do a job, or career, or a calling. So let's take an example of administrative assistant. An administrative assistant has this job as just a job. It's just a means to an end. Run me my paycheck. I need to just get my work and get my check and go. Okay, that's all, nothing more, nothing less. The person who's the administrative assistant who looks at it as a career, he or she sees this job as, I want to get ahead. I want to climb up this ladder. I want to advance. I don't want to just be the administrative assistant on the first floor. I want to be the administrative assistant to the CEO. So they look at it as an opportunity to kind of gain career progression and to kind of climb this ladder. And lastly, there's the person who feels that that administrative assistant job is that of a calling. They do it for self-fulfillment. And I personally believe that whatever you do should fall in that category, that you find that passion for that whole idea of whatever you would do for free, find a way to get paid for it. That's how I personally feel about teaching. I mean, I want my paycheck. Do not mistake that. I need my money. I need my paycheck. We have to make a living, right? And that's just honest. But I'm so excited and invigorated by it. It comes through in the way that I approach my students and the way that I approach teaching. So that's why I have this laid down as the first kind of foundation on how to get them engaged, is because they will respond to your energy. If you make it dreadful, it's going to be dreadful. If you make it exciting in ways that you can, then they'll make it exciting and they'll respond to that. They might look at you a little funny. They might even laugh at you a couple of times, but that's okay, because the job is to get them to learn. So, moving on to the second point, what I want to share with you is this quote by Oscar Wilde, and it says, "To be yourself, everyone else is taken." There's a room full of maybe just roughly 30 of you, and we all teach a variety of different classes. Not everyone in here is going to teach their class the same way. We all have a different approach to teaching, and that's a good thing because it offers variety to our student body. But sometimes what I find is that instructors really get caught up in this idea of being the teacher and being the one that holds all of the power. And while that's not necessarily a bad thing per se, the power dynamic is already established between myself and my students before they even come to class. They see my name on the registration system. They see it on the syllabus when I pass it out. So they already know Amber's the teacher. And so I don't really have to spend a lot of my time after that point, after that first night, kind of exerting my authority, because it's already there. So what that allows me to do is to really then present my most authentic self. Because the truth is, they see you as an alien. They don't really see you as a real person or a human being. Catch one of them at the mall and see what I'm talking about. You go, or at the gas station, they look at you like, "Why are you here?" It's like, well, I got to eat too. I'm a person just like you. And this has happened to me. They see you in the mall and it's like you're like a mirage. Like, I can't believe you actually live outside of the classroom. So my goal when I get before them is to demonstrate that I'm a real person and a human just like they are. What a shocker. Because they get so caught up in this idea of you being the teacher and this person to be scared of. And so yes, I have credentials and I have a master's degree and all this stuff, but I'm still a person just like you. And what that does, it kind of just breaks that wall and allows us to connect, and that helps to heighten their engagement when I have done what I can in the beginning to demonstrate my humanness. I had a teacher. I did my undergrad at Long Beach State, and back before there was RateMyProfessor.com, there was such a thing as word of mouth. And so students would talk about this one particular professor in my minor. And they were just like, "Oh, he's so mean. Don't take this class. It's so hard. He's really strict." And you know, I'm the kind of person that if someone says don't go see that movie because it's terrible, I think I'd rather make my own, decision on whether or not it's terrible. So I take the class, and they were right. He wasn't very friendly. He was kind of mean, and he was strict, and he used to say you have to slay the twin demons. Organization and discipline were the twin, whatever. So throughout the course of the semester, though, I remember one day I come to class and I said, "Hi, Dr. Such and Such, how was your weekend?" You want to see a man crumble? He was like, what do you mean? I said, I mean, how was your weekend? I realized he was so kind of caught up and so proud of being this teacher that the students feared, he didn't know how to be a person. He couldn't talk to me about how his weekend was, not because I really just wanted to know his business, but you make casual conversation before class actually starts. And I said, aha, I got it. And I asked him that every week for the duration of the semester. And I had him eating out of the palm of my hand by the end of that class because I wore him down. He used to call us all by our last names, and my maiden name is Whitaker. And he was like, "You know what, Whitaker, I don't know what I'm going to do with you." I said, "You're going to tell me how your weekend was. That's what you're going to do." And so it kind of allowed us to really find that interpersonal piece that sometimes gets missing in class because we're so caught up in these roles and this power dynamic. So what I'm sharing with you all is, and the point that I'm trying to make, is that it's okay to present your authentic self, find your voice and use it. Whatever it is that you like or whatever it is that's special about you that you deem to be special, interject that into your class. Because like I said, your students, they don't know that that's what they want, but what they need to see is you as a human, which is another reason why I often share about my experiences and the fact that I have other things to do than sit and wait for them to email me. I'm sorry. So I have learned when I was just getting started with this, I didn't really feel that prepared coming out of my graduate programs. Like, yes, I'm going to take adjunct life by storm. I didn't really know. Our program wasn't really one. They kind of just threw you into being a graduate teacher and you just figured it out. Then we got someone new and she took over the program and she changed everything. So when I finished school, I didn't really know how this was going to work for me. And I'm okay with admitting that because I was like, I don't know that I know what I'm doing. And so you just kind of find it out and you figure it out as you go along. And I have learned then to just find my voice. Because like I mentioned to you, I work full time as the Meeting and Event Services Coordinator at the University Student Union at Cal State LA. So I do that, all day long. And I'm with I live and breathe college students. I'm with them all day. I have a team of students that report to me in that department. And then I teach here at night. And then, like I said, I'm a freelance writer and a blogger and a wife and a mom. So I do have a lot of responsibilities. So I learned that I have to be the same Amber in every dynamic, because then I'm gonna forget where I'm supposed to be if I'm trying to be other things. So I just only know how to be myself, and I'm not afraid to be myself in the classroom. And again, humanness, they're looking for that connection. Many of my students work full-time just like I do. So now that's something that we have in common that they may not think that we should have in common. And what that does for me is eliminate excuses. And I tell them, there are gonna be many nights when I'm gonna be tired too, but you asked for me to be here. You didn't ask for me by name because you don't know me personally, but by making the decision to come to school, which I congratulate you for, and enrolling in this college to say I want a good education for my money, you said you want good teachers, and that's what I'm here to do for you. But we're all going to work in here together. And we all are going to come, and so when you're like, oh, Miss Amber, I'm so tired. Me too. Okay, now did you read the chapter? Then that kind of allows us to kind of foster and build these connections that gets their attention. So I really work on that in the beginning, and I also make it my business to learn their names. I learned their names very, very quickly. Because then all of this, please don't act like you don't see me, all of that, little Sarah, what's your name? It allows me to then connect with them in a different way. And then I get to see them as people. And they always appreciate that effort because they say to me, you made me feel like I was a person and not just a number and not a name on a page. You make me feel like I was a person. So that's the heart of the second point that I'm pressing for you all here. The first one was to do everything that you do with passion, and particularly when you get up here and teach, do it like you love it. I used to say, if I worked at Taco Bell, I'm gonna make that burrito like I'm gonna eat it, right? So do everything that you do with passion, and then do it with authenticity, and be your truest self, because that's what they need to see from you. And once they see you as a real person, then they're more apt to listen. It's like that whole idea of when your mom says it, it doesn't matter, but then when your friend tells it to you, it's kind of like, oh, but then mom's like, but I just said that. As a wife, I just said that, but you wouldn't talk to your friend at dinner, now it makes sense? Okay, so be the friend at dinner that all of a sudden they make sense to husbands and other people about how it comes from, okay? Is that resonating a little bit? Yeah? Okay, good. So that also this now leads me to my third point, which is tell them your story. This is different than tell them your business. You don't have to tell them your life, everything. But in this vein of authenticity and really sharing kind of little bits and pieces of who you are to reveal your humanness to them and to be less of an alien and more of a person, I really love to inject stories into my teaching. I'm the kind of person, I got a story for everything. I just do. I'm just one of those people. Somebody just got a story for everything? So I can't really turn that off, so I just use it in the classroom. And what that does, it helps to bring the content to life. Karen did it. Did anybody go to the plenary session right before lunch? She did a really great job of taking us back to the early days of when she started her career here back in the late 80s. And she was saying how there was such a great community of connectedness here on the campus. And the way she explained it, it just was so vivid, and it just really kind of took me back to that time there. And that's what I mean by interjecting stories. Stories help to convey meaning. And this says, stories teach, model, unite, and motivate by transporting audiences emotionally. This quote is by Peter Guber, who is a film producer. He produced The Color Purple and Flashdance, a bunch of movies in the 80s and 90s, and now he's part owner of the Golden State Warriors and the Dodgers. Okay, so he's a businessman, and he's been around for a long time, and so he says that stories teach, model, unite, and motivate by transporting audiences emotionally. So you want to, when we talk about this idea, I feel like I'm neglecting you over here. Can I move? Okay. When we talk about how to really get students interested and how to engage them, find a way to use stories that illustrate the content. And you might teach hard things like numbers. You know, it's very easy. It's like, how do you tell a story about numbers? But there's a story attached to everything. Every number has a story, right? When you think about it, make up one if you don't. Because what it does, again, like I said, it allows you to convey meaning, and it puts the student in that seat. It gives them an example. For example, in my public speaking class, I always tell them the same story when I lecture on how to prepare to give your speech and how to reduce anxiety. Does anybody here get nervous when they give a presentation in here beforehand? Sometimes, occasionally, might depend on the context. In the classroom, it's like, I got this. But maybe in some other contexts, it might be a little scary. So I talked to them about how I had this one student who wrote his notes on his hand. Right? Exactly. Oh my goodness, what is happening here? And poor thing was shaking like a leaf. And then what happens when you're nervous? Sweat. And what did he do? Bless his little heart. Oh, bless his heart. And then you see the shock of realizing what he had done. No more notes. And I mean, you know, he said a 4-letter word, and it was just a wrap for him because he just was lost after that. So the moral to that story is, don't write your notes on your hand. Write them on a note card and prepare. So how that resonates with them and how I get them to engage and respond to that is because now I'm thinking about, do my palms sweat when I'm nervous? I need to make sure I have my note card so that way I don't get up here and do the same thing. It's a true story too, I didn't make it up. I can tell you a bunch of them because, you know, we can all do that, right? We all have hundreds of stories about these things that our students have showed us. But it's important to use those, find them as a way to connect with your students and, again, to bring the content to life. What storytelling does when you are teaching is stories then become a bridge. Another story that I like to tell that really kind of helped me to understand what our students are going through here was I had a student who was late to class because, you know, we know that students experience challenges when they're in college. They have families of their own. Like I said before, they have jobs. They have difficulties and hurdles. You know, they have that one grandma that dies like 5 times in the same semester. You know, then there's those stories too, right? But generally, they do have obstacles to get here. And how I learned to appreciate that was I had a student who was late to class, and he came regularly, so attendance wasn't really his issue, but he came late to class, and during the break, I mean, it was like halfway through class, so at that point, it's like, we're halfway over, but during the break, I said, you know, what happened? And he said, I missed my bus, I had to walk here. And he walked nearly halfway across town to come to class at night. He's a young black male, tattoos all on his arm, he had tattoos on his eyelids, you know, maybe not safe for him to be walking across town at night to get to my class, but it really made me think about the fact that this is a big deal to be here for us and for them, and we don't know what it is they really are going through to be here. So it's my job when I come here to give them a good, I was about to say a good time, not like that, but to really give them a good value for the money and the time that they're spending. And I do that so that by illustrating and using these examples and telling stories, again, to kind of foster this sense of humanity in the work that I'm doing. Now, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that by the very nature of what it is that I teach, because with communication studies, I feel like that's the bedrock whereby we live our lives and we build our lives, and how we know that we're alive is through communication. So this is really appropriate for my work, because I tell my students that if you want to be happy from the boardroom to the bedroom, you have to learn how to communicate with confidence and competence. And that's what I'm here to teach them how to do. So it's really more of a life skill than it is just a class to take. But throughout that, I can think of a whole bunch of examples. And again, by using vivid language and relevant examples to help bring the content to life. Because we all know what that's like when we have the words, how Gloria Stefan said in the 80s, the words get in the way. I try to say I love you, but no. I'm not gonna sing it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the words get in the way. Sometimes it's difficult. So by creating opportunities for them to connect with the content, I use stories. So I'm going to show you an example of what that means, given to us by this gentleman here, Mr. Ashton Kutcher. I show this to my students as well in class when we're talking about how to organize a speech. You present your ideas, explain them and summarize them, talk about what you're going to talk about it, then talk about what you just talked about. And this, I just happened to catch this was online, and this was a really great example. And I'm showing it to all of you today because, number one, you just get that bonus to figure out how to put together a speech. But Ashton does a really great job here of using storytelling.
Ashton Kutcher!
So we're using stories to teach here. Can everybody see okay?
Okay, let's be brutally honest. This is the old guy award. This is like the grandpa award. And after this, I gotta go to like the geriatric home. First of all, I don't have a career without you guys. I don't get to do any of the things that I get to do without you. I thought that in Hollywood, in the industry and the stuff we do, there's a lot of like insider secrets to keeping your career going, and a lot of insider secrets to making things tick. And I feel like a fraud. My name is actually not even Ashton. Ashton is my middle name. My first name is Chris. and it always has been. It got changed when I was like 19 and I became an actor. But there are some really amazing things that I learned when I was Chris. And I wanted to share those things with you guys because I think it's helped me be here today. So it's really three things. The first thing is about opportunity. The second thing is about being sexy. And the third thing is about living life. So first, opportunity. I believe that opportunity looks a lot like hard work. When I was 13, I had my first job with my dad carrying shingles up to the roof. And then I got a job washing dishes at a restaurant. And then I got a job in a grocery store deli. And then I got a job in a factory sweeping Cheerio dust off the ground. And I've never had a job in my life that I was better than. I was always just lucky to have a job. And every job I had was a stepping stone to my next job. And I never quit my job until I had my next job. And so opportunities look a lot like work. Number two, being sexy. the sexiest thing in the entire world is being really smart. And being thoughtful. And being generous. Everything else is crap, I promise you. It's just crap that people try to sell to you to make you feel like less. So don't buy it. Be smart, be thoughtful, and be generous. The third thing is something that I just relearned when I was making this movie about Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs said, when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way that it is. And that your life is to live your life inside the world and try not to get in too much trouble, and maybe get an education and get a job and make some money and have a family. But life can be a lot broader than that when you realize one simple thing. And that is that everything around us that we call life was made up by people that are no smarter than you. And you can build your own things. You can build your own life that other people can live in. So build a life. Don't live one, build one. Find your opportunities and always be sexy. I love you guys.
Okay. So what I really like about that clip is one that he was passionate about it. Clearly he wrote that in advance because they didn't do the little shut up music, you know, they do at the end. They didn't rush him off, so clearly he had prepared that speech. But to get up here and tell these young people all the things that he shared about, you know, the world being created by people who are not any smarter than you, and telling us his real name. I mean, I guess, you know, I just never knew that. I didn't know that his name was Chris. And talking about the times when he was a young man and carrying up shingles and sweeping Cheerio dust off the floor. He set the stage for exactly what I was saying earlier about revealing his humanness, because they can't even control themselves. They're screaming so hard and so loud over him, right? But in that moment, he just kind of stripped all of that away so that he could teach them. So this embodies everything that I've shared in the first half of this presentation about teaching with passion, teaching with authenticity, and storytelling to find a way to reach them and engage them. Because when you are willing, again, to reveal your humanness and be less of an alien to them, then that sets the opportunity for you to foster these connections. Because all of life is about connections. It's about fostering and making these connections with each other, even our students. Okay? So did you like that? Did you like his speech? I thought it was really good. And it's advantageous for me too, because this is a special occasion speech, so I'm able to use that for that class. And I'm able to explain to them how he laid it all out. He presented his ideas, he explained them, and he summarized them. Which leads me to my fourth point, which is to foster engagement. Do not be afraid to bring the outside in. I love popular culture. I was the kid who bought a CD and I couldn't, before I listened to the album, I had to read the liner notes and see who wrote the song, who produced the song, who played the strings. That's just something that I've always loved to do. And so now we're kind of overly obsessed with celebrity gossip, but I really like popular culture. It's what I'm interested in, so I interject that into my teaching, as long as it's relevant, of course. Does any of these things look familiar to any of you in here? Any Breaking Bad fans in here? You can raise your hand. It's okay. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Okay, good. Anybody read TMZ that you're willing to admit? No? Do you know what TMZ is? Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. Anybody know the young lady on the end? Taylor Swift, yes. Well, her, you know, we know who this person is, right? Beyonce. Anybody watch any Scandal fans in here? No Gladiators? This is my buddy right here. Yes, excellent show. And then the gentleman on the end, George Clooney, ooh, I swoon for George Clooney, swoon. Okay, so beyond this, we have television shows and music. We've got popular culture, but we also have chemistry. We've got law. TMZ is run by a lawyer, Harvey Levin, and TMZ actually stands for the 30-mile zone, which is the radius of 30 miles between La Cienega and I think West Hollywood Boulevard in Beverly Hills, where all of the filming was concentrated. So there was problems with unions because they were only filming in this 30-mile radius. So they've kind of renamed that, and now that's where they got TMZ from. And I actually I gave TMZ their credit because they were I kind of converted in giving them their pass because they were the first to report that Michael Jackson was dead. They were the first ones to confirm, like, it's over, guys, he's gone. And they were right. And so they've broken a lot of stories that people were reluctant to give them credit for, but, you know, it's kind of slimy, but they, you know, people cite them all the time. So if you want to talk about law, because celebrities get into trouble all the time, you can use those stories as an example. Taylor Swift is 24 years old and has the distinction of having the album that has received the most awards in country music history, and that was her Fearless album that she released, I believe, in 2008. This young woman at 24 is worth $220 million. So if you teach accounting, you might want to do a case study on Taylor Swift. Okay, what is she doing with all that money? Talk about that and see if you had $220 million, how do you dissect that, and how do you find a financial advisor that you can trust who's not going to shoot you in the back like the lady did Selena back in the 90s about how to spend your money. Accounting. This woman here, Beyonce, highly awarded, over 41 Grammy nominations, just she alone. 41 times she's been nominated for a Grammy, maybe even more because that's kind of, I think that's a year-old statistic. She just released an album in December, all on her own, by herself, and her and iTunes. I'm not gonna say she revolutionized the music industry because that's a lofty, you know, attribution, but she did change the game in modern sense because she left everybody out. She said, I want to do my album, release it and promote it on my own terms in my own way. So she cut out the middleman.